Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Cyberpunk. In today's episode, I'm going to do a side quest that I was planning on doing ages ago, and then I got distracted by meeting up with Takamura because it happened to be like right next to him. Specifically in this market, actually. But there was a dealer's stash here. No, here. What's this? Let's talk to Takamura. I don't want to do that. So I want to go to the dealer's stash. I'm going to go down this elevator. Today's episode is going to be very short, which no doubt you've seen if you've actually looked at the, hello? If you've actually looked at the timestamp. The reason being is that I sat down, ready to record, and then I called in for work, so I'm actually going to have to go into work very shortly. So I'm probably going to do this mission, and that's about it, which is probably going to make for an incredibly short episode, which, you know, I apologize for, but real life gets in the way occasionally. But this place is cool. Stronghold of the Japanese faction, I would assume.
Just fuck off, please.
Hello? Hello. Tiger Claw. Another Tiger Claw. Pretty sure I can sneak around here relatively easily. So why wouldn't I? Oh, here we go. That's a new thing I unlocked last time, which is kind of cool. So I can melee attack people and then I can grapple them. And that actually works way easier than I was expecting it to. I was expecting that to be more difficult to pull off. Huh. Smart pistol. Cool. While I'm here. Look at their messages. Hey Kim, talk to a guy who deals with the tigers. Says they got some drones to unload, Militech moths, jailbroken, de-iced, and works. Ain't cheap, but I think they're worth a scratch. Jonas and the boys already got some like 'em. They're starting to poach our buyers. I mean, Kerry already started going to them, exclusive. Let me know what you think, but quick. Tiger's got another buyer ready, and if they don't get a decky offer... A DC? I assume that's like short for decent, but you know, DC offer them for us, they'll close. Mere cost of pures going up, but price per hits sticky as fuck. Shit's going, keeps going the way it's going. Biz won't make much sense. Got to make the stuff last. Ideas. Could add some crushed up fluorescence. You get it fine enough, can't see a thing. Plus it cuts up the client's nose, makes the stuff absorb faster. Don't quite even notice shit's been cut. Let me know what you think. I'd assume who can get us some burnt out bulbs in bulk. It's kind of fucked. So the idea being you put powdered glass in your drugs so that when they're taking your drugs, it gets, they think they're more powerful drugs because they absorb quicker. But in reality, it's just they're going directly into your bloodstream. Also, I'm apparently over-encumbered. Yes, I am. Let's just dismantle some stuff, shall we? I realized that I'd been dropping a lot of shit, when in reality I probably should just be dismantling shit. Because then I get, components for it, so it's actually worth doing. I think at this point, I just straight up get rid of any greens or whites at this point, because they don't seem hella worth it, to be perfectly honest. There are some blues that are pretty good, but more generally, I feel like purple and orange is what I'm going for. Oh, cool! Straight up onto a road. Alright. So I said we were going to do that and that's it, but that only took me, like, literally 5 minutes. So I can do something else. Because I didn't start for another hour. But having said that, I need to have a shower and stuff, so I do actually need to get ready to go to work. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at my journal, see if there's something else that I can do relatively quickly. Here, Cyberpsycho sighting. That should be relatively quick. Cyberpsycho sighting. And there's also an assault in progress, so I can knock these two out. That'll work. Charter Street. Where's my closest fast travel? Here. It's kind of my fastest. I have to take an elevator to get to that fast travel point, right? Wait, what? That's what I get for standing in the middle of the road, I suppose. Is that really my closest? Let's head to this assault in progress. My reasoning here, as I get hit by another car, it's fine. I have drugs that just heal me. My reasoning being, I'll likely find another fast travel point along the way, is my assumption. I just haven't, like, really explored the inner part of the city here. So I don't have access to many of the fast travel points. Looks like it's under this bridge, yeah? Even further down. I'm over encumbered again. I really need to sell some shit, is what I need to do. Alright, dude. He did say thank you, which is nice. Whoa. The compounding effect. What I did, by the way, just there is, like, rather than selling all my food, I accidentally ate all of my food. The effects all kind of stacked by the look of it. So that's certainly a thing. Alright. I think I'm gonna be like this for a while. So, cool, I guess. Let's head towards this, I suppose. Fast travel point just down here. And then let's head up here, shall we? I wonder whether fast traveling will fix that. I don't know, but coming out of that menu was psychedelic, baby. Whew. Alright, so first things first, let's check the assault in progress.
I'll fuck you myself! Oh no! Oh no! Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos.
I get them all? I think I got them all. What's really impressive is the amount of, this is a new song I've never heard before. It's really impressive the amount of, music they have in this game that is, like, copyright free. Like, apparently they have a fair amount that isn't, as well, but, like, I've got a tag on that effectively just allows me to have all my music as copyright free music. Which is really, really useful, by the way. Thank you, CD Projekt, for adding that as a feature. I really wish GTA added that as a feature. You can kind of do that in GTA, but it's not as easy. 100 cylinders nitrous oxide to be stored in the warehouse. But caution, deterioration has increased fire risk. Fair enough. Yeah, so in GTA you can kind of do that because you can set the music in your files, so you can effectively just change the music that is on your files for your playlist. So you can do it manually, but it's... I mean, at that point you're effectively modding the game. Not particularly extensively.
Terrorist activity detected.
Okay, Robobot.
Go home.
Or it's too late.
Look around.
America after the war, the turbulent years of 2024 to 2035. I kind of like jumped right into that Cyberpsycho, but you know, whatever. At the end of the Fourth Corporate War, in order to establish relative order under the federal government, President Elizabeth Cress imposed martial law on NUS member states and nationalized the domestic arms manufacturing giant Militech. Preoccupied with their own internal issues, most of Europe and Japan paid little attention to developers in North America. Back in the 1990s, corporations had already begun aggressively purchasing huge swaths of arable land from farmers. Those who were left with no choice but to sell eventually found each other and organized into larger groups or clans to improve their odds of survival. Looking for reliable work, opportunities meant staying on the move and often specializing transport contracts. Yet, once the war settled down, their convoys became the single reliable safe method of interstate shipping. In other words, this time of crisis and adaptation played a major role in the emergence of the so-called nomad social class. That's really interesting. Meanwhile, in the 2040s, Netwatch created an immense firewall, dubbed the Black Wall. Someone was telling me about this in the comments. It's actually like a huge thing in Cyberpunk lore, is the Black Wall, because it mentioned it. I think it had to do with Delamain. He was talking about going back behind the Black Wall, and I was kind of questioning that, what that exactly meant. To partition a safe part of the net for human use and curb the threat of rogue artificial intelligences in cyberspace. Yeah, okay, that's what I was being told. At the organization's discretion, humanity was forced to sacrifice its access to inestimably. I've never... Like, I obviously know what that word means, because it's kind of obvious, but I don't think I've ever seen it written. Inestimably. Impossible to estimate. I've never seen that word ever, I don't think. Or if I have, I've never read it out loud, so it didn't sound weird to me. Inestimably valuable resources and knowledge for the sake of net security. That's interesting. So essentially the idea here that he's created with the kind of Black Wall and the dangers of artificial intelligence is that artificial intelligence kind of took over the internet. So they had to partition like a part that they couldn't get into. That's interesting, and also probably likely now I think about it. If you have a rise up of artificial intelligence, I mean, the internet is clearly the place that's going to happen, right? It's not likely going to be Terminators, it's more likely going to be computer viruses, for want of a better term. Also, this here is really interesting as well. Talking about the corporations buying up farmland. Because that did happen a fair amount in the 90s. It's also happening now. I mean, it's a relatively big problem at the moment in that, for Australia specifically, there are Chinese corporations and billionaires in China that are essentially buying up massive swaths of land in the middle of Australia. Which obviously can lead to some problems later down the line, obviously, with international relations, when you have another country who's claiming to own part of your land. Interesting. So the nomads were effectively the disenfranchised farmers who banded together for survival. And then, yeah, that's really interesting. That actually makes a lot of sense. Search area to collect information. I think I've got all the information, don't I? There's a broken down car. Am I missing any of the information? Ah, that'll be it. Okay, first one. Rush order urgent. Matt Liao. Dan, I need this stuff for my head. I really, really need it. I'm out. Starting to think some desperate shit on loop. I know I owe you, but fuck, man, I need it, and I need it today, you know? Whatever you want in exchange, man, I'll do anything, okay? I gotta kill, steal, whatever, please. The bank. Dear Mr. Liao, I regret to inform you that due to your repeated defaults on your payments, we are now forced to foreclose on the property for which your loan was taken out. Milagro Terrace 12. Please vacate the premises within 3 working days of receipt of this email, otherwise we will introduce eviction measures as part of the clear to kill system. Jesus. This decision is final and irreversible. Sincerely, Liam Turetsky? Customer Service Department, Bank of Night City. So he was foreclosed on his house. Dear Mr. Liao, due to the termination of your employment at Mercenary Solutions Incorporated, your health insurance policy PTSD Shield has been cancelled effective immediately. That's fucked. Any appointments made prior to this notice have been cancelled, and any medications have been discarded. This is from Heroes Care. We also inform you that you are welcome to use the Government Veterans Care Program. Current appointment wait time is 756 days. To register for an appointment, please send the following text message, help. Wishing you good health and the best of luck, Anne McEwen, Senior Consultant, Heroes Care. Yeah, pretty much. 756 days. That's the problem you run into when you have socialized healthcare. Which is why you need a private system to be able to, like, kind of supplement it. But if you have a private sector supplementing it, the point is you're supposed to lessen these wait times. Whew. 756 days to get mental health care for a veteran. And interestingly, because he was working for a mercenary company, they were paying for his private health insurance. Interesting. PTSD Shield. It's interesting to think about the idea of... Because it's very interesting as an Australian as well, because we have a similar health system to this. We have a public health system, which is good. Like, the public health system is a good public health system. The problem is that, like, if you need a hip replacement, you're going to be waiting months to get a hip replacement. Not quite 756 days, but, I mean, people have been waiting years. Like, people have been getting close to these wait times for certain things. Non-life-threatening things get pushed to huge delay. Or we have the private health sector, where you can either, if you're rich, you can pay outright, or you pay health insurance, and your health insurance will get you a place at a private hospital when you need it. It's interesting, though, that... yeah, it's just interesting to me. There's parallels of this that just seem very real. And it's interesting that as part of your employment, I guess as part of his employment contract, they were paying for his health insurance. Which just seems like a bad idea, particularly if you have PTSD, right? If you've got something where you know you need urgent care, and like I feel like you should be paying for your own health insurance. That way, if you get kicked off, you can at least keep the insurance until you can find another job, assuming you can find another job. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very... I mean, it's pointing out the corporatist nature of Night City, I suppose. It's interesting. Alright, so now we need to send that message to Regina. Oops. Messages. Where are you, Regina? If he's here at the badges, there's no way in hell Max Tack is going to bring him in alive. We're the best chance he's got at getting out of there in one piece. Our psycho's out cold, but conscious. Transferring you the data I gathered. Looks like it was an ex-merc working for some corp. As soon as he stopped being useful, they tossed him out in the street. Guy kept his combat implants, had PTSD, stopped taking his meds, you can fill in the blanks. Yep, pretty much. Thanks for going the extra mile. So a badge friend of mine just sent me his data. Guy's head was a mess. Must have taken 4 times the doses just to make it through the day. Eventually the court cut off his health insurance, the cash dried up, and then the ticking time bomb exploded. But was it really from the implants alone? Who the hell knows? Either way, your eddies are in the air. Thanks for taking care of this. Yeah, this is interesting, the way that Regina is kind of looking into this. It's like, almost like she's... I assume she's got a family member or a friend who suffers from the from cyberpsychosis, as it were. But it also seems like... It also seems like the idea of cyberpsychosis isn't as straightforward as people are saying. Like, it seems like people are just blaming the implants and going, oh yeah, he got the implants, he wasn't taking the medication for the implants, therefore he went crazy. But it seems like all of them so far... I think all of them so far have been veterans, which is interesting, with PTSD. So it seems like it's a combination of extreme mental trauma combined with the cybernetic... Whether or not it's the cybernetics specifically, or whether or not it's the drug dependency that's required when you have the cybernetics. Because obviously all these guys in the military, like being in the military is fucking hard a lot of the time anyway. There's a lot of veterans that come back with serious mental problems. PTSD is, I don't think they even call it PTSD anymore, but PTSD is the post-traumatic stress disorder. Was a huge thing with a lot of people coming back from war. And the idea of, you see these kind of atrocities and then you come back and you try and go back into normal society, it's hard for a lot of people. But if you add on top of that the fact that these guys are decked out to the nines in, like, as much military gear as they possibly can. Like, I'm sure a lot of them have... Well, that's not what I wanted to do. I guess I'm throwing it anyway. I'm sure a lot of them have... That's not what I wanted. Here we go. I'm sure a lot of them have, like, rocket arms. Like, I can imagine that being a thing, right? Like, why would you not? Like, deck out the actual people to be as deadly as possible, as well as just the arsenals that they can use. But the problem with that is, as we've seen, there's a chemical dependence that you need so that your body doesn't reject a lot of these implants. And if you take someone who's already in a very stressful situation and you're giving them a chemical dependency, that's not a good combination for success, in my mind. Which I think is the point. And I think Regina is probably trying to prove the fact that it potentially, the idea of cyberpsychosis is not inevitable. And you don't have to, and maybe it's curable as well, is the point I think she's trying to push. That's why she wants us to keep all these guys alive. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. As I said, I've got to head to work relatively soon. I've got like 20 minutes to get ready. I'll be fine. But as such, that's going to be it. So if you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Where I think I'll probably go main mission stuff next time, if I'm being perfectly honest. This could hurt. I'm good. But yeah. I feel like I just dropped into a gang war, but we'll be fine. Anyway, I'll see you next time, guys.